What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. If you've been looking for messages from your angels, ancestors, guides, even if your guides could be something unconventional, like a dinosaur or a fictional character, I think we can draw knowledge from every aspect of creation. I don't think we're just limited to this physical realm. If you are looking for a one-on-one reading, you can directly message me, or you can do so with the link in my bio. The first reading is $20 for the first 20 minutes, and you can ask whatever question, or I can pull and see what comes out. If it doesn't resonate, then I'll just refund you. Now, that being said, let's jump right in. So the first card we have is Turkey, and that is someone is behaving stupidly. We have Vase with Secret Admirer. It's funny, I think we got this like in the last reading or the one before. I ended up shuffling it because like the last time I pulled, like too many of the cards are similar and we got it again. So somebody definitely has a secret admirer who's watching this. And then we have Arrow. This also came out too and I shuffled it and here we are again. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So I mean, you're doing something right. You must be doing something right. If you're getting this, if you're picking up on this message and you're hearing this, then this is some form of confirmation from somewhere that whatever intuition that you're following, whatever like inkling that you're kind of like trying to, or whatever yellow brick road you're walking down, it must be the correct one, or you must be accurate in some regards. So keep doing what you're doing. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, it's like we have so many times, and I know people will say like, we're the opera in power, we're the opera in power. Yeah, I get that, but sometimes there is so much going on within the physical realm that we have to experience, and sometimes that can be difficult to navigate. But on the very fortunate side of that, just as there are negative aspects of having to navigate through the physical realm, there are upsides, and there are times like where the energy swings in our favor. So I mean, just as things sometimes don't go our way, sometimes things can shift. Sometimes we put a lot of good out and we put a lot of intentions out and we put a lot of seeds to be grown. And sometimes that's also the energy of the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it's also the energy of us having had to adhere to all these external forces and then us gaining our own way of it's like us gaining our own footing and being able to stop the wheel from circling and cycling over and over and over again. It's like then, instead of allowing this wheel to spin aimlessly, we're starting to gain our composure. We're starting to basically come out of the wheel of whatever is spinning, and we're starting to navigate outside of these paradigms. So sometimes it takes a little while of having to be in the wheel before you can get out of it. Sometimes it takes a little while of having to understand all the components that are in the wheel before you are starting to master the flows and the ebbs of both interacting with it and being in it, and then also starting basically operating outside of it. And then we have the Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups. So there's definitely the energy of feeling stuck and stagnant, but maybe you're just not paying attention to, or not seeing, or not maybe it's like you're not like really comfortable even in what you are seeing to be the path forward. So maybe there is an offering ahead of you that you might not be experiencing right now. Maybe you are experiencing like, you know, these bottles being empty, and maybe this offering is about to come your way. Or maybe you are just not seeing it directly being in front of you while you are navigating through whatever difficulty you're in. So sometimes it's the energy of us having to trust that we are doing what we need to do. And then especially with the Eight of Swords coming out too, the Eight of Swords is definitely the energy of doubting yourself and not having confidence in the things that you're doing and the motions that you're taking. And with the other card, I think it was Arrow, if I'm not mistaken, where it said you're on the right path regarding something. And I'd like to say that this is doubt that is, I wouldn't say needless. Understandably, doubts and anxieties are meant to try and keep us safe. It's what our mind does to try and protect us from perceivable harm or disappointment, especially if it's, because harm doesn't always just come physically. Sometimes harm can come to our emotional and mental body after we've gone through difficult things, or if things don't go as planned. So I think we might have those perceptions and those fears, and that's why we feel stuck and stagnant. But with the Arrow coming out prior, there's definitely the energy of you being on the right path and you needing to trust that your intuition is guiding you down to where you need to go. And then we have the Queen of Swords. So yeah, the Queen of Swords is also, just as much as there is logic, there is intuition. And I think logic without intuition is like a blade without an edge. It's like it's a blade that's not sharpened. You can have logic, but if you don't have the ability to be intuitive with the logic that you're using, logic is limiting by itself. Trying to rationale or trying to reason out things based off of logic is using what information is available to you, and sometimes the information available to you is very limited, and it's not enough. Like you sometimes you are like trying to perceive. Funny, I'll take that as a confirmation because somebody just said talk to him. Little notification that came up. But many times, what we perceive to be logical is based off of what we understand. It's like we're being logical based off of the information that we have in front of us. And our intuition, 9 out of 10 times, stems so far past that. Because how many times has somebody had their life saved because of intuition? They just felt something was off. Now, in front of them, everything on paper was perfectly fine. But for some reason, somebody just felt something internally, and something cause them to act or reproach or respond to a situation differently, where there is no logical reason for them to do such. So I think life's getting dry. I'm talking so much. I think we really have to understand that just as much as there is logic and there is rationale, there is intuition, and it is just as powerful, if not eons more powerful. While I don't agree with everything that Abraham Hicks and Bashar say, what I will say is what they are spot on with is if you are tapped in, the power that you have is worth millions more than what others have. It's like imagine you having a gun in your pocket, but you not knowing you have a gun, and then somebody comes up to you to try and harm you, and then you don't even have the awareness of how to use it. So it's like having the awareness of who you are and how you operate and how to navigate through reality, and that is a huge part of, or a huge part of that is done by using your intuition. I think by limiting ourselves and thinking that logic is the only tool that is valid, I think we greatly diminish the potential for us to be able to create, do, and experience great things, and actually be able to act on things that will get us to the point in which we need to get to. All right, I'll pull one more, and then we will see what's on the bottom of the deck. So then we have the Four of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands. So maybe there is a lot that you need to let go of. Like there could be so many, I will forever say that there are so many belief systems that just keep y'all fucked up. And I'm not even trying to be mean, but there's so many mentalities and beliefs that just do not serve us. And we develop them. This is even for me. We develop them with the intentions of trying to keep ourselves safe, and with the intentions of keeping ourselves and our loved ones protected. But sometimes what tends to happen, especially when we have belief systems that go unchecked, and especially if they are not made out of, if they're made out of fear or any other one of those derivatives, it can be something that adds on to your burden so much more than relieving your burdens. I think one of the defining moments in my spiritual journey was when I told my grandmother that there have been people who have astral projected. And she's like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, that's where people have had the ability to leave their body with their soul. And they've seen heavens. They've seen not one, not two, but multiple forms of heaven. And her first response was, is there a hell too? It's like we are so shackled by certain concepts that we believe are empowering us, I think sometimes, that aren't necessarily beneficial to us. And this goes so far past just the religious aspect. This goes as far as like how we approach money, how we deal with our health, how we deal with even children, how so many people think that you have to be hard and beat children to discipline them. There's so many mentalities that we hold on to that are just creating more burdens for us, that are just creating more of an energetic weight for us to carry on in this world. When reality, if we allow ourselves to let go of certain things that are not serving us, then it just makes the journey that much easier. But that's all for this message. I hope it resonated with somebody. Peace and blessings, and I will catch you guys in the next reading.